In this episode, we're at LA Fishing Alliance in San Pedro, California, going over the best baits and tackle for this summer season and beyond. Shore pounding, bass boats, sport boat, wherever you're fishing, these are the tried and true baits you need to get bit. Let's go meet up with Rob and see what he's got for us.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Rob here at LA Fishing Alliance shop manager. We have an epic bite going on in our backyards right now. We got bluefin, we got yellowtail, calico bass, barracuda. Come along with me. I'd like to give you guys a tackle breakdown of what to use and to get you on this bite. Come on, guys.
So you guys know Rob from my recent Catalina episode. He was the one absolutely slaying fish, and if I've learned anything over the years, it's to listen to Rob. He's one of the fishiest dudes I know, and I knew he'd be the perfect person to talk to put us in the right direction. So let's go see what he's got to say.
We want to give you a local update of what's going on in our backyard. We've got some nice barracuda fishing going on our half-day boats. Monte Carlo's getting them pretty consistently, as far as City of Long Beach as well too. Key elements right now that these barracuda are keyed in on: Tatty C's, smaller jigs. Not saying they're not going to eat the bigger jig, but they are keyed in on the Tatty C's. Black and white, always a good option. Tried and true. Mint's a good solid color to throw. Never know what's going to come up and pop these guys. So also, besides the two colors that I did show you, scrambled egg is a nice solid color as well too, that these bass, barracuda, the yellowtail are eating it. Don't forget we have bluefin in our backyard. Any of these mirror patterns right now, these guys are keyed in on bait fish. Here's a blue sardine. Here's a purple, more of the anchovy scale. These are really two good irons. If you come across a foamer and they're keyed in on bait, these are two good jigs to toss in there for you guys.
Want to fish some Catalina Island tuna? Yeah, they're foaming. They are foaming.
Let's cruise on over to our next section and talk about some rods and reels to throw these guys with. Don't have to necessarily have a 10-foot jig rod to go ahead and throw jigs. Nowadays, guys are transitioning, throwing their 8-foots, 8.2s, you know, even a 7.6. If you come up to a foamer or you just happen that's a rod that you do have, don't necessarily need a long rod to throw jigs, but it will work for you. So as far as what we have right here, this is the Daiwa Proteus. This is an 8'10", heavy, perfect for your Chatty 45, your Starmans, anything good from pretty basically live bait to jigs. Our next option as well too, a Kuma PCH Custom right here. This is more of your inshore style rod. You can take this anywhere to fish the wall with it, throw live bait. Pretty good for those lighter surface irons such as the Chatty C's, the 4.0 lights. Don't forget the Sal 7X Juniors. Good reels to pair up with these little guys. Something like this, you can throw a Lexa 400. No problem getting away with throwing surface iron on Lexa 400. Seen it multiple times. Throwing poppers, throwing surface irons, you know, throwing the 7-inch plastic, and so on and so on. This is one of the rods I have let Dudefishh use in one of our episodes. If you see, I believe it was on the Martiosa on one of our goof off trips. I had them paired up with this with a Revo 60 Beast from Abu Garcia. Worked out perfectly fine. Alright, so a couple of the reels I want to talk to you guys about was the Daiwa Lexa 400. Not everybody is experienced in throwing an open face reel, such as your Torium 20s or your Akuma Cortez. So this is the next best bet. Has a level wind on there for you so you don't have to guide the line yourself. Nice thumb bar here, so the guys who are used to fishing the traditional style bass reels, thumb bar there. It's pretty much the same idea, but now you have way more drag, a little bit bigger on the reel size, and you don't have this big open face to where you have to use your thumb to guide the line. Good option right there for you guys. Next reel that we do have, Torium 20 HG. This is one of my go-tos, one of my favorites. I have this paired up with my CalStar 100J mag. I backed it with ballpark 230 yard, 65 pound Spectra, Yo-Zuri to be exact, and I have about an 80 to about 100 yard topshot of Iser Triple X that I love fishing. Fishing anywhere from our local grounds to the islands. Great to pull on yellowtail, you can pull on the bluefin with it, and you drag this CUDA across the surface on these guys. Last but not least, the Kuma Cortez. Very great reel. Bang for the buck. Love these particular reels, really good. I would say anywhere from a beginner to advanced. That's a pretty bulletproof reel, we'll say that. I do all the reel repairs here at the shop, and I can tell you the internals, I have service reels for some of the sport boats, and it's the rental gear, and I can tell you these guys hold up. They're pretty bulletproof, not really any corrosion. Everything's pretty solid for a year's worth of use, and that's a loaner for rental gear. Great for the live bait, get plenty of line capacity. You can throw a jig on it, and necessarily you don't always have to go Spectra. You know, some people tell you, oh, go Spectra, go Spectra. Monofilament is a great option. If you want a fly line bait, that's a good way to go. If you want your setup to be a little bit more universal, then I'd say go ahead and use a Spectra. Then you can change out your leaders to any size you need to at the time being. Great reel. Another bait I'd like to talk to you guys about, the poppers from Yo-Zuri. Really nice baits, real good in weight, has a nice transfer system inside of there. If you take a look on the back of this packaging, there is a weight transfer system. So when you go to cast, it's like spring loaded. Everything coils up in the back, the spring launches, hits that, and you get a mile long cast out, we'll just say. Get into those foamers, pop it a couple times, You could twitch it, you could straight wind it, as long as you're making a commotion up on the surface. It looks like a bait fish trying to get away. These bluefin come up and go nuts for these things. Our buddy Jason had just recently got, I would say, ballpark 50 pounder. He was throwing, I believe it was a blue mackerel from these guys. Went out there, made a long cast, popped it twice. Bluefin came up, had it in his mouth. He killed that fish. We'll say ballpark 5 minutes or less. Good bait to have on deck.
Let's go! Woohoo! Look how close we are to fucking land!
Alright guys, so next I want to talk to you guys about another fishery that we got going on right now. Our local, right here in our backyard. Your local fishery, your local marina. Fishing anywhere from dock hopping, you know, or fishing the back bays. You know, a lot of calico bass, spotted bay bass, halibut are being caught. Occasional white sea bass, a lot of shorts, but occasional illegal. These mutiny baits right here. Really good baits to fish right now. Imitate different types of bait fish. They flicker all sorts of different directions when you pop them. I personally fish them on 25-pound tests, fishing the break wall on these guys, or even in the back bay. Just the action on these guys alone draw fish in. Does not matter on line size. It does matter on line size, but preferentially, I would use anything from 20 to 25 pound on these particular guys. Let's talk about these 7-inch weedless Reyes baits. So 7-inch Reyes baits right here, full body weedless. You know, these guys are good anything for our break wall to our local fisheries such as Palos Verdes. You can take these guys as a Clemente and kill yellowtail on these guys. That's how much confidence I have in these baits, and they're tried and true. So you look around on the web and there's guys pulling yellowtail off these guys here. This is our wounded soldier in our 7-inch Reyes, 3/4 ounce owner beast hook, 8-aught. Reason why I like fishing the 3/4 ounce, a little bit longer cast, you get down in the water column a little bit quicker, and these fish, they just lash out at it. I'd say I caught my personal best calico off the wall. We'll call it an 8. You know, I do have a picture. If you guys want to see the picture, I will send it to you, Dudefishh. You can go ahead and post the picture on this guy, as well as our buddy G Hooks. Everybody knows good old Girth. Got his personal best sand bass on one of these guys off the wall. Everybody says the little sister bait. We're gonna call this guy the little brother. Here's the 5-inch weedless version. For you guys like throwing the little bit smaller profile inside of our harbors and back bays, really good bait. You can pair this up with a 5-aught or 6-aught owner flashy swimmer. Here's the 5-aught, here's our 6-aught. Look like this guy right here. Beautiful profile, nice and tight to the body, has a nice blade for the extra flash. I like throwing these around docks, rock piles. The spotties lash out for these guys. Also as well, another way to rig them, you can throw them on the sled head here. So they match up really perfectly. Everybody has their own personal preference. This is my go-to way of fishing these guys. You pitch them inside the kelp, you can bounce them up off the bottom, fish them a whole bunch of different styles. This is my go-to. These guys, they do twist in, and then it has a nice weedless presentation. Perfect profile, perfect for our back bay fishery. Multiple different colors, great selection. I think you'd like what you'd see. Another bait I want to talk to you guys about, we have the Redemption Flukes here. Multiple different colors, great options. Fish these, I personally fish them Texas rig. We fish them on the break wall here, fish them in the harbor. Great for your spotties, your calico bass, your sand bass fishery. Pretty much everything and anything that eats a bait fish will eat these guys. If you're looking to upscale on the profile, we do have the Zoom 7-inch Magnum Flukes. Wall killers, break wall killers, guaranteed. We've been fishing these on the 7-aught owner oversized worm hook, which is this particular guy. And we've been rigging them with a 1-ounce bullet weight and glass beads. Reason being for the glass bead, every time you pop it and that weight hits it, you make a nice clacking sound. It's like a bait fish that's flickering, something hidden, draws their attention. They come up, lash out, and grab these guys. All right, another soft bait I'd like to talk to you guys about. This is the Megabass Dark Sleeper. For those of you guys who don't want to go ahead and put a lead head inside of a bait, rig anything, you already have a hook inside of here which is completely weedless due to the fin right here, nice and tucked away. When the bite gets tough, you want to slow down. You can fish them fast, but this is my personal experience. If the bite gets tough and you want to slow down a whole lot, fish one of these guys, pop it up off the bottom, go ahead and just lift a rod tip 6 to 8 inches, cover a little bit of ground. These guys sit perfectly on their belly the way it's sitting in my hand right now, and they just get bit. Our next style of baits is back on the Reyes baits. So 3.75 inch, paired up with a good old warbait. Can't go wrong with the warbait. Tried and true. Really stout hook on these guys. Love the weed guards. We'll say on the hookup ratio that we haven't had any issue with the weed guard getting in the way. Hookup ratio is perfect. They're gonna eat it. They're gonna eat this thing. We're getting off the soft bait category. We are now going to the hard baits. This is a lunker hunt tailspin, as well as my go-to, the Jackall Barracuda. 1-ounce baits. You can cast these guys a mile. I like to fish mine pretty reckless, meaning I fire out, hit the bottom, take a couple turns, free spool them, get them into the rocks, make contact with structure. And the spotted bay bass, the calico bass, the sand bass, they lash out at these things. They love them. It looks like a bait fish just cruising along, hits a rock, boom, hammered. You're bit, you're on. The hook, when you're turning the handle, This hook tucks up underneath the bait right here. And the head, you know, it's a little bit more on the round side. So I have one in the back, it's beat up. I probably have 60, 70 fish on this one particular bait. I'm gonna fish it until the wheels fall off. Don't forget about our Damiki axe blades. Damiki axe blade is one of the top baits out there. You know, a lot of people come to a shop and they overlook a style bait like this. Don't sleep on these guys. You know, the axe blades, the lunker hunt, the derrick hoop, these are really tried and true baits. You could throw them very, very far, fish them in different structures. You could target everything with these guys. I've caught anything from bones at Catalina Island, Barracuda, you know, in our harbor here, spotted bay bass, calico bass, sand bass, you know, and I'm sure a couple guys have caught sea bass and halibut in our bays with these guys. Don't sleep on these guys. Come down to the shop, check them out. Good bait to have in the arsenal. Okay guys, and another option for you, for these big bluefin tuna, we do have these flyers here by G-Fly. Fresh dead. If you guys don't like doing the artificial deal, we got the real deal right here. Come and get them while supplies last. Last but not least, we do have fluorocarbon that ranges anything from 2 to 200 pound tests on hand. We do have it in Yo-Zuri, we have it in Seaguar, we have it in Afco Seiko Pro, and we do have different variety of spectra. We have our Power Pro, we have it in white, we have it in green, we have it in the vermilion red, also as well in the Yo-Zuri. We do have the blue, the bright electric blue, we do have the green, the white, and the high vis yellow. Need any help? My name's Robert. Cruise on by. See you guys soon.
Well, thank you, Rob, for showing us exactly what we need to get bit this summer. Be sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of this content, and if you want to see more baits that we throw around Southern California, be sure you click either of the boxes on the screen, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.